Hello everyone. Hello Mr. Caroline. Move on. Let's see. Turn it off. Turn it on. Load this. Somebody asked on YouTube, why the heck the screen is so small? Well, the answer is obvious. That's the only size of the window you can use here. You cannot make it bigger. You make it bigger on the other screen, where should I put it? Like, there's no space. That's the maximum size. Right, let me check the sound. Test. Alright, it's working. Despite saying I was playing almost 19 hours, actually it's much more than this because I felt yesterday. Skip it. Don't like that it's not saying exactly where I stopped. That, alright. It's mounted by both the Defense and Inquisition. Witness will testify about Sir Belduke's death. Any questions? No, my lord. Let's have a mention of one more thing before we begin. If it cannot be proven that Jean Grey Arrow is a witch, as claimed by the Defense, the court will... I didn't check how to pronounce this word. Irrevocably consider my fate to be the witch responsible for both crimes. Is that understood? Do you remember all of this? I may even read them. You have no choice. You have no choice, and let's skip it. Because they started to explain what actually happened. And where exactly I saved. I don't need to read all of this. It's not interesting. Alright, here it is. About 3 months ago, in the dead of night. And what time is dead of night? 2 AM? Midnight? Sir Belduke, the alchemist, was murdered. How they identify the time of death? Just night? The crime took place in his study, just as with this incident. The room had been locked from the inside. The victim was found still seated in the chair at his desk, so we can assume he was attacked while working. There were very clear strangulation marks visible on his neck. There's something trickling down from his mouth. Is that blood? Yes, most likely. The victim probably bit his tongue as he was struggling with his assailant. Might be important. And you said earlier that some white powder was spilled all over the floor? Correct. Yes. Hence, we expected to find the killer's footprints, however, there were none. Oh. Could be killed next from behind. Next culprit will simply go above the table. Why should he go around it? Over the table. Whatever. The killer must have somehow approached the victim without stepping the floor. No problem. After murdering Sir Belduke, the killer left the room without opening the door. Undoubtedly, The crime must have been committed with the use of witchcraft. The body was discovered the following morning by the butler, Miss Grey Earl. The body was found by Grey Earl. Thank you, Inquisitor Burnham. The court illustrator's sketches will be added to the evidence. 3. Now, witness, begin your testimony. Tell us about the events spanning the night of the crime from the evening beforehand until you discovered the body. Let me check it first. Why he allowed his wall to be painted green? It's completely invisible. I would understand, but this part it's impossible to not to notice. Trying to understand if there's something missing. Like, why cannot see this bottle, for example? No papers. Whatever. What was spilled? Was he having something... I mean, having something in his hand or not? Alright, let it be. When I called him for breakfast in the morning, he didn't respond. Oh. Did I read the first part? Maybe not. The door to his study was locked. Neighbor had come for a visit just then, so we forced the door open together. All the potions and other concoctions from the study have been confiscated. Why have they been properly stored? It was contradiction, potions and concoctions were confiscated. Layton was an alchemist after all. We're hoping the items confiscated from his study could provide some clues. Besides, such things must not fall into the wrong hands. It may not be standard practice, but it was deemed necessary. The confiscated goods are stored in our secret vault. The only person with access to them is the High Inquisitor, Lady Darklaw. It has caused me great difficulty, as I have not been able to put Master's research materials in order as a result. The confiscated items shall be returned as soon as Sir Belduc's murder is resolved. So we're supposed to use it? Shall be looking forward to that. Defense, you may begin the interrogation. Okay, so that's what I missed. At around 1 o'clock at night, excused myself and left Master Belduc in his study. And where the heck is contradiction?
Hold it!
And what time was that? Master would always take his breakfast at 9 AM. So it was around that time. So you didn't have the key to Sir Belduc's study? Is that correct? Yes. There's only one key to that room, and Master always kept it with him. Master's research was a very delicate matter, you see. He had to take strict measures to prevent outsiders from entering that room. Occasionally, delinquents would try to make off with one or other of Master's medicaments. Like cocaine? Thieves stealing from an alchemist? Can't tell if that's incredibly brave or incredibly stupid. Probably the latter. That's why the door to that room is made from thick oak wood. It's still wood. It's still soft. You can just cut through it. I wouldn't have been able to force the door open on my own. He was alchemist. He could use some iron door. And wait a second, there's supposed to be a window, so who cares about doors if there's window? No windows. I see. Alright. She couldn't have entered the room before that then.
Hold it!
Wait. You mean you broke the door? The only key to that room was in Silverduke's pocket. The only way to enter the study was to break the door open. And you managed that with the help of a neighbor who came to visit? Yes, it wasn't a social visit, mine. He was a patient. A patient? Can you tell me more about him?
Objection!
It was Barnum? The victim's neighbor is irrelevant. He has nothing to do with this case. Think you're pushing it this time. Witness is hardly irrelevant. What's got him so shaken? He looks as if he just had a rush of blood to the head. Master Belduke had been making very potent medicines, among other things. He would get people coming from the town at all hours of the day and night, asking for them. And yet, in return for all the help Master offered, people would gossip about him, dabbling in witchcraft. So you broke the door together with a neighbor? Yes, when I explained the situation to him, he brought over an axe. Then he proceeded to attack the door with great force, smashing it into splinters. I see. By the way, about that neighbor, who was... in this drunkard?
It's time for Emir's
But of
grand
course.
entrance. Did you miss me, guys?
He'll be in every single case except the very first one.
Order! Order! Could it be that it was you who... Where are you looking, old man? I'm right here. And as for who I am...
Can you return back all the belongings? Well, looks like not yet. And what the heck the spirit is doing there?
I'm the alchemist's neighbor and a witness in that case too.
Patient for justice, seething within. Within? Emir is always at the crime scene. Within.
Objection!
It's you again! You're the guy from earlier, right? Yeah, that's me, Emir's the name. How you been, Blue? Really, the alchemist's neighbor? Seriously? I know, right? Freaky coincidence, huh? But yeah, his house next to mine. Dedicated earlier, Emir returns, drinking like a king. He never ever learns. That's why I tried to stop you from asking about the neighbor. Why so cool, Inquisitor Burnham? Unable to hold his steady, cold gaze, Amir drinks fast, as if in a daze. And the musician standing next to you? Oh yeah, that's my private Bart, Birdie. A Wright musical genius? Hold on, oh, there me. Oh, there me. Well, no use shutting the stable door after the horse has bolted. Let's move on. Witness, since you're already here, you may as well add your testimony. Testify about what you witnessed on the morning after the crime. You can count on me. It dawned on me then, the witch cost. Familiar, just like in this case. Familiar.
Hold it!
Can you tell me what caused that sudden realization? Sure thing. When the Inquisitors came round, I went to have a little peek at the crime scene. That's when I heard them talking about it. I was surprised, because they must come to the same conclusion as me. Cracky, they can do their job, the Inquisitors, I thought. It had to be Formalia. So he was eavesdropping. If I happen to see that Formalia user, I'll read them myself. It is the final card. Can you not restrain yourself a bit? Not that. I just say I gotta have this to keep my spirits up. It's the most potent medicine. This drink a mirror leaves to savor with an intoxicating scent and flavor. Anyway, it's a waste of time. I should be looking for decisive contradictions. Let us continue testimonies. Looks like I must press you. Maybe second time here.
Hold it!
Did you repeat that? Or not? Is this patient comes often? He said it looks like. Well, yes, he does. Once every 2 days at least. Really? Mr. Mir, do you suffer from a serious illness? Yeah, kinda, in a manner of speaking. I can't believe I'm still alive, to be honest with you. I'm always drowsy, always hungry, and to top it off, nasty murders keep on occurring wherever I go. I'm sick and tired of listening to your babbling, so cut it right there. If I may express my personal opinion, I believe Mr. Amir has a truly remarkable ability to come up with different illnesses every single day. Amir comes often to his medication, be it inflammation, irritation, or radiation. Radiation? It's certainly not a fabrication. Today I thought I could use some delicious potion. That day. So I went to see the alchemist. Delicious potion? And when I got there, I saw the butler was a bit of a pickle. So it was locked, you see? And that's 75 stream streak for cube. That's not visible on stream, of course. And you went to get an axe and broke the door. That's right, always wanted to smash something with an axe. Had them kinda urges to destroy stuff. You see? Now that sounds like something you should get treatment for. Kinda change nothing.
Hold it!
So, you last saw him alive at 1 AM, if that's correct? Yes. Master had a habit to conducting his experiments at night, so it was the usual time for me to finish my work. Did you help him with those experiments? He would sometimes have some runs for me, but alchemists generally keep their experiments a secret. That's why I would always excuse myself at that time unless Master had some other tasks for me. And that night, there was no more work for you. That's correct. I wished Master a good night as I shut the door behind me and then heard him lock the key. There was nothing unusual about him, at least nothing I noticed. Okay, that I pressed, but let's do it one more time.
Hold it! Hold it!
That's what I wanted to press here. Let's skip it. I wanted to check the agreement, of course. What's so special about familiar? Someone's from a magical fourth, a magical familiar from the shadows. You dislike that character even more now? Oh, the butler. So it was a mirror. Female mirror. Although it possesses a physical form, it's completely weightless. Completely weightless. It was completely weightless. How it was able to suffocate or strangle, whatever it's called, the victim. Those items were confiscated 3 months ago. You still haven't got them back? No. Not a single thing. Luke is a robot? Even though many of those were personal items with no relevance to the crime. Now that I think about it, that room did look pretty empty. As I said, the victim was an alchemist, and among his possessions were some very dangerous concoctions. But he did produce medicines to aid sick townspeople as well, to give him his due. Indeed, alchemy is highly beneficial to the townspeople, even if they fail to notice it. It may be beneficial, but it also inspires fear. People fear what they do not understand. Do not understand why this story was not in the storybook, like before. At any rate, I cannot return the items to you until Cerebral Duke's case is solved. But wait a second, there's tons and tons of stuff that people do not understand, as I'm constantly afraid. Like, for example, your vehicle is working. Nobody knows. That's what High Inquisitor Darklaw has decided. And the confiscated goods are being kept in secret vault by the Knights of the Inquisition. Even the Inquisitors cannot freely enter that vault, it's strictly supervised. And I noticed nothing except the spell is, well, cannot kill anybody. Maybe. That's all I have to say, huh? We didn't expect him to appear, but maybe I should be used to it by now. Excuse me, Mr. Wright. Sorry to interrupt your train of thought. Oh, that's a game. What is it? I'm wondering if it's just me, but I've been thinking about Mr. Emir's testimony. Think what he said. It's a little strange, isn't it? Yes. Yeah. How can I put it? It's pretty obviously contradictory. He was so keen to testify, maybe we should give him some attention and point those contradictions out. But I don't know what should I show him. Good idea, look. Like, I can present many things here. Let me check what do I have first of all here. Well, those two definitely not needed. Weightless. No, had never been casted. It doesn't exist. Because it's fake.
Objection!
There's something you don't seem to understand here, Mr. Romero. Familiar gem in this witch's scepter is a fake. The gem is useless. Yet somebody casted it because we saw in the cutscene the witch not supposed to be here. It was familiar for sure. So how many spells were used? 3 at least. Who the heck was this witch in the room? That's my question. Some magic was used, the third one. Just like this buffoon's testimony. Therefore, your testimony doesn't hold water. Just like anything else he says. Psh. What? Ignored and scorned, without credibility, will Majestic Amir now show humility? What? A fake? Should have listened to the trial more carefully. Now that has been dealt with, Inquisitor Burnham. This witch's scepter was not discovered at the crime scene when Sir Belduke was murdered. Is that correct? Do you have any summary of what actually happened? Looks like not. Who the heck was standing in that cycle? I still don't understand. Okay, if it had never been used, the spell as you're saying, what the heck was used? Don't have enough information right now, I believe. So, this witch's scepter was not discovered at the crime scene when Cyril Belduke was murdered, is that correct? And it, when it used that Familia, must have been used, however.
Objection!
But that Familia magic gem was a fake, that much has been demonstrated today. What's more, as we learned from Cracker the Parrot's testimony, but the problem is, the green was here only at the wall behind the portrait. Oh wait a second, no, it was some paint, but which one? Landscape. How the heck something could appear on the right here? inside the cycle. Except there was second person, this witch Darklaw. The witch used the spell Godor. How she disappeared? Was not a wearable spell or something? The fact that there's a green wall at the crime scene corroborates that.
Objection!
That wall may well not have been painted green 3 months ago. And besides, no one could have passed through a portal so small. To be honest, I've started wondering whether Layton's and Sir Belduke's murders actually committed by the same witch?
Objection!
Your Honor, I'd like to remind you that was the Inquisition's claim. He's right, though. It's got to be the same culprit in both cases. And at the very least, it's possible that the witch used the spell Godor to commit Sir Belduke's murder. What? In that case, I will ask the defense to show us proof. Do you have proof that the witch could have used Godor to kill Sir Belduke? Well, I understand how it was used, but... question is... what should I show here? The pain behind his back? The floor plan? Like, I can show anything. Awesome. Kind of traps for supernatural creatures. I found it finding yourself standing inside this cycle. Okay, let's show this one.
Take that!
I'd like you to take a look at this. Those the Counterstator's sketches. As you can see from this sketch, the victim was seated at his desk when he was murdered. And what can you see right behind the victim? Small landscape painting. Thank you, teaser. But there's one more point of note. Closely at the painting, do you notice anything behind it? Oh, I see it! The wall behind it had already been painted green. Already been painted green? By the way, this command still working or not? Let me check. Maybe not. It is. Didn't get what does it mean? Oh shit. Which means the witch could have used the portal spell the 3 months. Why it's not months, but month? It's unpronounceable. Ago.
Objection!
One moment, my lords. Consider how small that portal would have been. Could the witch have passed through it? I think not.
Objection!
Of course, the witch would not be able to go right through it, however. If you look at the distance between the portal and the victim, you'll notice that the victim, Sir Belduke, was sitting just an arm's length from where the portal would have been. The witch did not have to enter the room at all. All she had to do was reach through with her arms in order to strangle Sir Belduke. He was sitting right under the painting. Honor, Inquisitor Burnham, what say you to that? A fascinating theory, Sir Blue Knight. But there's a notable contradiction within it. Where would that be? Tell me, why do you think we concluded that fire had to have been used? And there's a certain reason for it, of course. And what was that reason exactly? The crime scene had been tampered with. How so? Imagine the circumstances of Sir Belduke's death, and it should become obvious, even to you. The victim was choked to death. And yet, there were no signs of struggle. Highly improbable, don't you think? Wait a second, there was sign of struggle, what are you talking about? What are you getting at? Think about it. Can you imagine anyone just sitting back and letting themselves be strangled? Yes. Currently there should be evidence of struggle. And since we haven't found any, that must mean the killer erased all traces of a fight from the crime scene. Indeed. That would be the logical conclusion. Now surely it would be impossible to do any such thing, and the witch only reached inside through a portal. In order to cover up the evidence she left behind, the witch had to have used a familiar. Without doing so, there would have been no point in your using the spell Godor.
Objection!
Miss Grey Arrow could have done it. She might have been able to tamper with the crime scene. What are you talking about? The morning of the crime. From the time Miss Grey Arrow and that guy entered the study, until the arrival of the Knights of the Inquisition, there was a window of time in which she had the opportunity to do so. We need to look into what happened in that window. It seems we may be in need of another testimony. Witnesses testify about what happened in the time between the body being found and the Knights of the Inquisition arriving. Sure then, ask me anything. I'll tell you all you need to know. A glorious Amir, tell us more. Maybe you won't be laughed at as before. Only two people accessed the crime scene in that time, Grey Arrow and Amir. Believe it or not, Amir is the key witness in this case. I broke down the door and saw the alchemist slumped in a chair. Give me a jolt. The battle hurt to call the Knights of the Inquisition. He never entered the study. What did I do then? Oh yeah, I was asked to keep an eye on things, so I went in, have a bit of a look at everything, and he stole the bottle? That's all that made me pretty drowsy, so I went and took a little nap on the couch. What? Wait, what? Mr. Amir, you say the bottle didn't enter the crime scene? Yep, he never set foot in there. The moment he saw Belduke, he told me to stand guard till the Knights of the Inquisition arrived. And then off he went. What a resourceful apprentice that alchemist has, thought to myself. I almost feel sorry for you, Sir Blue Knight. After all, your suspect couldn't have tampered with the crime scene. That can't be true. Defense, please proceed with the interrogation. Yes, Your Honor.
Hold it!
You took a nap in a room where a man had been murdered, and the body is still in there? I'm so surprised, but it was 9 AM. I'm usually still half asleep at that hour. Suppose maybe all the merrymaking the night before added to that as well. What is merrymaking? An famous celebrity known to all inns. A mirror makes merry like a young prince? What does it mean? So yeah, I was kinda overcome with drowsiness. There was nothing else I could do but go to sleep, right? When the butler returned, accompanied by the 2 knights, I was supposedly sleeping noisily on the victim's couch. And that's 5 stream streak for awesome, visible on my phone. I mean, he was snoring. Apparently he was grinding his teeth. Shouldn't have asked. But then, anyone could tamper with the crime scene when Mr. Amir was asleep, right? Good catch, Luke. Anyway, probably I caught a wink of sleep when those nights arrived. And me, teeth grinding, has sort of a paralyzing effect on people, so I've been told. So, even if someone had come in, I don't think they'd been able to do much. Right. Guerrero didn't set foot in the study. But then, that would mean it wasn't feasible for Hyo to have tampered with the evidence at the crime scene. If that's the case, I guess we'll better look at other possibilities, right, Mr. Wright? Yeah, fortunately, it all hinges on Amir's testimony. But who knows what that guy might say next? Now treat him with extra care. Because examining him is like walking through a field of landmines. He just might be more dangerous than Burnham. Let's gently press him into giving us some more information. That's what I'm doing. Why do I even read into this? Be as gentle as a lamb, to make sure I don't get his goat.
Hold it!
Are you sure the butler didn't enter the crime scene? Yeah, like I said, he didn't set foot in that room. I went in and sorta didn't know what to do, but the butler sussed out the situation in the blink of an eye. He told me to stand guard, and then he ran out. She went to call the Knights of the Inquisition. Is that correct? That's correct. I went to the nearby garrison. We have the records of when the crime was reported. They match the witness testimony. I returned to Master Belduke's house with 2 knights. They began an investigation immediately, taking away Master's research materials and concoctions. In the end, I wasn't able to enter that room that day. There can be no doubt about it. As she is the alchemist's apprentice, she was under close observation following the incident. I wasn't aware of that. So in the end, she didn't have access to the crime scene at all that day, huh? By the way, what were you doing at that time? Me? I don't know.
Hold it!
What were you having a look at? Well, I was asked to take care of the crime scene, wasn't I? So I had to, like, make sure everything was in order. I mean, you know? It's not like I went wild with excitement after being left in a real alchemist room full of mysterious stuff. I'm sure you didn't, Mr. Sticky Fingers. And besides, she asked me to look for something, so I was doing that too.
Hang on!
Miss Greer, you look lost in thought. Oh, are you talking to me? 5 nights in a row? Even she can be caught off guard if I choose the right moment. You have been listening to Mr. Ramirez's testimony, haven't you? Yes, I have. He was asked to look for something. It was you who asked him, I assume. What did you tell him to look for? Think you're mistaken? I don't remember making any request of that sort. Huh? Oi, Bluey! Were you even listening to what I said? It was a lady that asked me. The butler is a guy, you numbskull! Hey, what's up? Why is everyone looking at me like that? Quite a while ago we learned that the butler, Jean Grey Earl, is actually female. That's why when you say the lady asked you to search for something, you assumed it was Miss Grey Earl. Daydreaming, listening, but not hearing. That look of shock is almost angering. I'm not sure. What the? Why didn't anyone tell me before? Do you require a personal notification? Should have been listening to what I skipped. Knights of the Cards. Squabbling with the witnesses most unseemly. What I would like to know now is this. Who was the lady that made the request of a mirror? Oh yeah, that was actually Miss...
He's absolutely certainly talking about me.
Oh, and you are?
Oh, I'm Letty. Hang on a minute. I'll get down there post haste.
But, Miss Letty, who are you precisely?
Don't you know?
Me? Who am I? I'm Letty Mailer. I'm the courier.
The courier. Courier is a person who collects and delivers letters or packages. I know, thanks anyway, Speller. You should stop misreading my mind. Hold on, Miss Meller. Do you mean it was you who irresponsibly made such a request to that troublemaker? Me? Maybe yes, I guess so. I asked him to help me find something. Outrageous! Why was I not informed of this? I guess no one told you, maybe because you didn't ask. It seems we'll need to ask you to testify, Miss Mailer. Explain to us how you were involved in this case. Frankly, I wouldn't say I was involved in anything. No, in a tight spot, but it's because that guy said something weird about me. He's up on me like that, like the things goes. If I'm going down, I'm taking you with me. It's being in a pickle all on your own. Now then, Miss Letty Mailer, testify about that day. That voice could make windows shatter. Sir Belduke saying he'll have a letter to send, so I came by to pick it up. The empty letter. Actually, let's save here. I'll be right back in a minute. We're gonna play for almost 1 hour, actually. Be right back. What? I'm doing what? Alright, what I want to do here. Oh, the letter.
Objection!
The letter you found that morning. Was it by any chance this one here? Yes, that's the one. But wait, how do you get it? You're a piece of work, alright. On tail? Nope. I was using tail on Heracom.
Objection!
Oh, it's Cerebral Knight. How did you come by that letter? And just sort of fell into my lap, so to speak. It was the professor who found it, but he doesn't need to know that. Defender, just what in the world are the contents of that letter? Well, the letter is blank. What? All this fuss over a blank letter? As you can see, there's some sheets of parchment inside the envelope. Indeed, and there's not a trace of ink on them. What is the meaning of this? Don't forget that Sir Belduke was an alchemist. He may have used some kind of invisible ink to write that letter. Indeed. And I skip it. About that, it doesn't make sense to me. What? Miss Miller? The thing is, when I saw that letter, all the pages were full of writing. So you know.
Objection!
Hold it, witness. You saw the contents of Sir Belduke's letter? I didn't read it. It's just that you see. Witness, this is an important matter. You will need to testify about it. Tell us what you know about this letter. That night, probably about 1 AM, I made a delivery to Sir Belduke. He was writing a letter at the time. I'll be ready soon, so come pick it up tomorrow morning. That's what he said. I left his study and wished the butler a good night. Then I went home, and Butler did not testify about it. I went there again next morning, as promised. Sir Belduke was... well, anyway, I looked for the letter. Then that guy went out like a light on the couch. Got a little scared, so I left as soon as I found the letter. I didn't quite get it all. What? How? Where? He says nothing. So you witnessed the victim write the letter? Let's say witnessed. That sounds so legal. The sheets of parchment were on his desk, though. I saw that. And they were covered in writing, margin to margin. But you don't know what the letter was about? Tell you would be a breach of our privacy policy. Reveal its contents, or who it was addressed to. Addressed but addressed. Oh, of course, I understand. Frankly, I didn't get close enough to Sir Belduke's desk, so I couldn't make out what he was writing. In any case, where did you find the letter on the morning after the victim was found dead? On a shelf, next to his desk, in a small letterbox. Actually see it. And so what? Oh yes, right there, next to his head. I was a teeny little bit scared though, coming so close to a dead man. But wait a second, why the heck there were no Footprints on the floor. All storage space of its cartridge? Wait a second. 3 DS cartridges. It could contain any memory at all, because it was just an beach card. What did they have inside? I have no idea. So that's where she took the letter from. It was right next to the cards. Now that the circumstances are clear, we shall proceed to the cross-examination. Well, I can check the size of the room, but that's all. Oh, wait a second, how should I check it? I don't remember the website. Let's ask Wright. That's Layton. Can't even spell Layton. Versus Ace Attorney. Game. Use all storage space of the cartridge Digital archives remarkably dense, nearly filling its container with a wealth of cinematic mysteries and voices. It seems even human puzzles require a vast amount of space to manifest their full complexity. Well, it looks like yes. I don't know. Alright, made a delivery to Belduke. Write a letter. Can pick up it tomorrow morning, but why you didn't? Left. Good night. I went there again the next morning. So what's so special about this? Footprints.
Hold it!
You took the letter from the crime scene? That's right, look it. From the crime scene.
Objection!
So there was no this white powder on the floor at that time. You're not realizing that pinching evidence from a crime scene is itself a crime worthy of severe punishment? Well, it might be a crime, sure, but just look at the witch's defender. He's got to defend the witch, using any dirty tricks at his disposal. Dirty tricks? What dirty tricks? The same for me, you know? I'm a courier. So, come rain or shine, I've got to deliver. Where there's smell, there's mailer. 10 words per game, looks like. I was so inspired by the young lady's spirit, I kinda just had to help. Although, inspired by her dedication, he betrayed a lack of concentration, of course. It's entirely my fault that it came to that. Had I only been at the residence then? Where was out, notifying the knights at the time.
Hold it!
He went out like a light. He was telling me look for the letter, and then it happened. Out of the blue, he just passed out the rescue. He collapsed, and his eyes rolled back. He wouldn't move. Wait a second, so he did not... fall asleep. But something else happened. So maybe he sniffed this powder and that's why it's on the floor? Always sounds like he died. No such luck, unfortunately. That's correct. Keep. That horrible sound. He was grating his teeth. So my ears would explode. He's actually drinking the poison right now. Yep, not sure what came over me. Never happened to me before sleeping like that. You know, I didn't just fall asleep. More like I sort of blacked out, I guess. No idea why? Oh, you guys, what do you think? Any ideas? I think it bears no relevance. And there you have my honest answer. I think it's good that I wasn't there. But the question is, why did he black out like that? Already have evidence? Your Honor, I might have a clue as to why this witness suddenly lost consciousness. You know? Right? He work at Outblue? I seriously have no idea, maybe I don't have evidence. Yet. If that's the case, may the defense present some evidence. Each piece of evidence shows why this man fell unconscious. Oh, this maybe.
Take that!
Not! See, it was poison. Failed. Some awesome come. As I subtle, but I shouldn't read this. Skipping all this. That character is committed to her work, or maybe just plain crazy. That's right. This testimony raises more questions than it answers, doesn't it? Sir Belduke wrote that letter the night before his death, and yet now it's blank. That's a mystery, alright, but there's something else unusual in what she said. This. The part about that guy going out like a light seemed strange to me as well. The witness said he felt a surge of drowsiness at the time, but still, something about that seems kind of odd. Even for a guy like me, him. I'm feeling there's much more to Miss Mallory's testimony than meets the eye. I'll get to the bottom of this, don't worry. Good luck. Okay, let's press everything.
Hold it!
That's pretty late to be making a delivery. Look, he's an alchemist. He gets loads of strange packages, that's why. And often order various implements from the glass craftsman, who have someone gather wild herbs for him. He usually carried out his experiments at night, so yeah, he often needed items delivered in the middle of the night. Did Sir Belduke seem at all different than normal when you saw him that night? Different? Let me think. Actually, yes. Think, it was about 3 days before Sir Belduke's death, I mean. And that lightning strike.
Hang on!
Excuse me, Miss Greer. What is it? Did anything in Miss Mallory's statement catch your attention? Well, just the lightning strike. Mr. Belduke did suddenly change following that event. I wonder why it affected him so much. An alchemist and the sudden appearance of an old red tower. But of course, it would not. Could there be some sort of a connection between them? Anyway, it looks like Grey Arrow is as much in the dark about this as I am. By the way, that strange lightning strike was not the result of witchcraft. I see. Well then, let's carry on. And why we did it?
Hold it!
One more time. A lightning strike. Oh yes! The sky was clear, and then there was a sudden flash of lightning. Out of nowhere, an old-bell tower appeared. In flames. Oh yes, that certainly was an unusual event. They all seemed so calm about it. A tower suddenly materializing in the town is more than just an unusual event, right? And a lyric for Sir Belduke that evening too. He looked terrified that night, as if he was scared of something. What could he have been afraid of? Was it because of the lightning strike? I was wondering about it too, but well, then that incident happened. Chemically, actually you cannot hide it if actually you wrote something, even with invisible ink, because when you write something on the paper, you are damaging it. It's still noticeable, invisible or not. There'll be scratches. Guess he died before she could find out anymore. I suggest we get back to discussing the night of the crime. Venus, you're right at Sir Belduke's residence. What happened then? Only if he was pouring the water over it without touching the paper.
Hold it!
You saw the letter he was writing? Told you before. Or using brush, not pencil or pen. There were sheets of parchment with writing on them on his desk. Had a very quick look. There were so many sheets that it must have been very long. Then how can you explain the letter being blank now? Merciful. That's just it. That's what I'd like to know as well. Also, I believe he used Demir spell. The whole parchment's supposed to disappear, not just ink. She had some earplugs. Sir Belduke, he was holding a pen when I arrived with the delivery, so he was in the middle of writing. And also he told me to pick up the letter next morning. And then you left his study. Well, ink is attached to the parchment.
Hold it!
Wait a minute. When you say the butler, I mean... Miss Greer, of course. She was in the corridor carrying a tray.
Hang on!
Miss Greer, I'd like to ask you something. Certainly, what is it? You stated previously... Levels? And you excused yourself and left Sir Belduke's study shortly after 1 AM. Wait a second. She saw the ink. Lemon juice cannot be visible. Yes, that is correct. And milk. However, according to Miss Miller's testimony, the two of you came across each other while you were waiting outside that room. Why didn't you mention that until now? That's because... I apologize, I'm afraid I completely forgot to mention it. You forgot? Miss Miller very often comes with deliveries during the night. I did see her that night as well, but I didn't think much of it, as it's nothing unusual. Had no reason to hide that from you. Please forgive me for the confusion. But that kind of thing can happen. Human memory is in no way perfect. Don't imagine there's a problem here. Is there? On the contrary, Your Honor, I believe I was reading Layton's book, and they used oranges. So to think. That's one more thing Miss Greer forgot to mention. What is it? I'd like you to recall what Miss Mellor said about having met Miss Greer that night. She was in the corridor carrying a tray. Well, Miss Greer, apparently you were carrying a tray at the time. What do you have to say about that? Jean Greer. I believe you should add that to your testimony. As you wish, my lord. It's unlikely she really forgot about it. The fact she tried to hide it must mean something. Miss Mellor left just as I was bringing Master his usual drink.
Hold it!
Lemon juice. Tomato juice. What do you mean by usual drink? The Master's experiments continue until late hours. He would always have some juice to ward off sleepiness. Roy Bank and Pellet? What? Invisible by using lemon juice in here? Let's see here. Had some brain damage. What kind of juice? Tomato juice! Wait a second, that was my second guess.
Hang on!
Excuse me, mister. Mister! I know nothing about it, nothing. Nothing at all. Witness, what have you done this time? Don't give me that scary look, Mr. Burnham. It was only just a little bit, seriously, hardly anything at all. What are you talking about? I think I'm talking about the juice, the tomato juice, of course. The tomato juice? You didn't. Surely, even you wouldn't. Well, like I told you before, I think I sorta overdid it a bit the previous night. The juice was poisoned? She was trying to poison him? And I woke up. My head was pounding, that's why I went to see the alchemist. And wait a second, I'm sure that in Japanese version it's supposed to be wine. Why they didn't say grape juice? I don't know what happened. And when I was left alone in the alchemist's study, it's definitely a bottle of wine, but it's not a grape juice. Kinda caught my eye. The bottle, I mean. The tomato juice, the wine. Thought it might make the headache go away, you know? So you drank it? The juice found at the crime scene. Oh, why shouldn't I? It's a drink, aren't I? What else do you do with a drink? You drink it, right? And can you tell us where that bottle is now? Now think of it, I don't remember seeing it at the crime scene. It has been confiscated. Confiscated? As I mentioned previously, they are called crime analysts confiscated all the Master's personal belongings from the crime scene. And that's all. Well, I believe we should take note of that bottle and add it to the court record. Yeah, so there was having a bit of juice when that girl came around. To tell you the truth, I don't quite remember what happened after that. That's when he passed out, huh?
Hold it!
I can skip all of this. Not gonna always what happened.
Take that!
Mister, I believe the reason you might have lost consciousness at the crime scene is tied to a certain piece of evidence. But wasn't it just because, I had a bit too much fun the night before? They proved that Butler actually was trying to kill him by using poison. It's not a witchcraft, so will not be burnt. She will not be burnt. It's the Don for sure. Looks exactly like him. No, it was because of this. The tomato juice. He passed out right after drinking this juice. Therefore, it's not unreasonable to assume that there's a direct connection between the two. Tomato juice does not make people fall unconscious. Cerebral night. Exactly, that's why something must have been added to the contents of that bottle. Something like a soporific. You mean sleep medicine? Yes, that's explaining everything. It was not poison. And if a soporific was mixed in with that tomato juice, it means Sir Belduke would have been unconscious at the time he was assailed. The sketch. Have another look. The red liquid trickling down from the victim's mouth. It's proof that Sir Belduke must have drunk the tomato juice. I had failed to consider this. Consider Burnham. I bet you remember saying this to the court. Can you imagine anyone just sitting back and letting themselves be strangled? Clearly there should be evidence of a struggle. And since we haven't found any, that must mean the killer erased all traces of a fight from the crime scene. However, if the victim was unconscious when his assailant was struggling him, then the killer could have committed the crime through a small portal big enough to put their arms through, after all.
Objection!
That's maybe so, but tell me this. How would the culprit have managed to obtain such a strong soporific? That's an alchemist lab. It was very simple, and I think you realized why. From the alchemist. That's right, an alchemist would no doubt have a wide array of various medicaments in their possession. And an apprentice would have little trouble stealing some of them from their study. Isn't that right, Miss Grey Earl? How should I respond to that? I'm sorry to disappoint you, might perhaps be the best way to put it. What do you mean? Even though the juice bottle has been safely stored for the past 3 months, I'm positive it would be impossible to find any traces of that soporific now. You wicked. It's unbelievable. Was it really the Butler who did it? But everything she says holds true. She was pretending to be a boy, that's mighty suspicious to start with. Is she a witch? Hold on, everyone. The Butler couldn't have done that to Sir Belduke She would never ever do it. Let's testify just one more time. Miss Grey Arrow, let's tell them. Let's prove they're wrong. I have no idea how much you've done for Sir Belduke. Miss Mallory. Very well, I shall grant your request. Testify about the relationship between Miss Grey Arrow and Sir Belduke. Master took me in, a complete stranger. I'll forever be in debt to him. Don't understand why? Working as a butler, it's something important in your life? To be in debt? Makes no sense. Your ears are ringing. What? See? I answer your question. There's no voices because it's Hausen, first ever fully orchestrated soundtrack. That's why there's no voice acting. That's why I could never make an attempt on his life, though magic or otherwise. If you don't have empathy, which is actually common nowadays, as I see. It's possible. You would. Sir Belduke was a wonderful man. He's the one who recommended this line of work to me. And he's the one who told me about it. The confidentiality obligation, I mean. I've never once broken it. It's true that Sir Belduke evoked fear due to his being an alchemist. However, he was also a man of admirable character, who supported the townsfolk through his research. Why would anyone want to kill such a man? This question keeps haunting me, however much I think about it. Witches need no reason behind their evil. That's what makes them witches. Now, the defense may begin its interrogation. Hello, Kyle. There's something fish about it here.
Hold it!
The confidentiality obligation is a rule held among couriers. Is that right? Yes. Courier must not disclose the contents of a letter, nor the names nor addresses of its sender and recipient. But I'll let you confidentially on that. I'll tell you confidentially that time. I left gossiping. Bad mouthing people especially. What? Why is she saying this? Mom? Nothing has changed, I would say. Still doing the same thing all the time. Working during daytime, streaming at the evening, sleeping at night, day after day after day. So I wasn't confident I could keep it. The confidentiality obligation, I mean. I was tempted to talk about this and that. To think that Belduke trusted him. But then Sir Belduke spoke to me. He told me this: think about how you'd feel in that person's place. And that got me thinking. I really like to gossip. But when it comes to being gossiped about, you don't like it? I personally don't care. People's messages are their secrets, and secrets must be kept. Indeed, no one would want their letters to be publicly known. I have nothing to hide. suddenly determined when it comes to confidentiality. That's why she doesn't want to disclose the address of Belduke's letter. I'm not going to get it out of him. I promised Sir Belduke, and I'm going to keep it no matter what. The promise, I mean. Why should I? I already have it for... what was this? GameCube, when you can play Game Boy games, and Game Boy Color games, and Game Boy Advance games by using the Game Boy Advance as a controller. So it's much better than the cartridge for Super Nintendo. I'm sure about this. So GameCube for sure is better way to play it. Because if I will play them on Super Nintendo, I will be using Super Nintendo controller, and I personally don't like it. Promise Sir Belduke, and I'm going to keep it no matter what. It's something I can pride myself on, right? End of the road for testimony. Everyone knows that Miss Grey Earl respected Sir Belduke. That's why it seems so inconceivable that she could be the killer. She doesn't have any motive. But that crime did take place. At this point, what you probably need to do is look at this case from a different angle. Change the perspective, so to speak. Just need to look at it from another angle, I wonder. You'll be getting close to the truth here. Now just need to follow it through. That's an attorney's duty. I'm sure you can do it, Mr. Wright. There's a lot of talk here that I don't need. Seriously don't like when you present the last statement and it starts like this. New hobbies? Which one? Why? I don't know. Well, it's just some kind of bone. Think about it, what is better to use? The Super Nintendo controller or Game Boy Advance, the original, as a controller? Pixel art animation? And where you publishing it? On a YouTube channel?
Hold it!
DeviantArt? How long has it been since you began serving Sir Belduke? I suppose it would be 5 years now. Before that, I lost everything. I had nothing and nobody left in this world. You lost everything? That's when Master Belduke helped me. Kindly took me in and gave me work. What did she go through before she started working for Belduke? Later, when I was helping Master with his research, he even taught me how to read and write. Wait a second, but they have schools in this world! It's mandatory to know how to read and write. Why is the heck you must help some master to do this? What the heck is going on? She's contradicting herself. What? Thought you actually used Super Nintendo controller at least once? I was able to live comfortably for so long, all because of Master, but GameCube controller as the controller for Game Boy games, it's garbage for sure, because D-pad is actually down there, and when you're using it, it's like you're feeling a pain in your left hand. Don't know much about Grey Earl, but she doesn't seem the type to kill someone she owes so much to. Listen, if you owe a lot to someone, it's kinda more natural to kill this someone. Everyone in this town knows how you served Sir Belduke. Now you may continue your testimony. Not confident? Should do it anyway. If you're not confident enough, it will never end. You will be constantly thinking that you're not confident enough, not good enough, but when you're above 50% of or 90% of people who are doing the same stuff on YouTube, for example, or DeviantArt, or some other place. Which place do you have? Tumblr still alive? Not sure. Last time I heard about it was like 15 years ago. Maybe just 10. For comparison? If it was possible to send anything directly into other country, other continent.
Hold it!
You're claiming you had no reason to kill Sir Belduke. Michael Cullen. Yes, you can ask whomever you wish. I'm sure they will say the same. Foxy Shadow will tell you for sure that the best controller for any kind of platform is actually keyboard. Still don't understand how he played Tomb Raider on PC by using keyboard. So, it's widely known that Jean Grey Arrow was devoted to Sir Belduke. It's difficult to imagine that she could brutally murder her respected master. In it, I have the same opinion. Have visited Sir Belduke on several occasions to inquire about this piece of evidence or that. I must say I found there was a strong bond of trust between him and Miss Grey Arrow. Do you still think you can come up with a motive? A motive? Jean Grey Arrow's motive for murder? But you say that there's no motive for witches. Grey Arrow risked a lot to conjure up a small portal on the wall. And then she killed Belduke. But what motive did she have? Suggest another motive? Wait a second. But I have no idea. Another? I understand. The defense will present evidence. What? But I don't have evidence. Evidence to indicate Jean Grey Arrow's motive for murder? No. Wait, what? What's about Sir Blue Knight? Sir Belduke's life was taken that day, that's a fact. However, was this actually the culprit's true objective?
Objection!
But this is nonsense. Sir Belduke was murdered. What other possible reason could there be, besides someone wanted him dead? I'm fairly positive this piece of evidence will lead us to the culprit's real motive. What is this piece of evidence? I cannot say right now. Very well, defense. Present evidence to indicate Jean Grey Arrow's motive for committing the crime. Blank letter, for example. Oh, that's right. Miss Grey Arrow had no reason for wanting to kill Sir Belduke. However, there was another incident that night which is related to this case. And I have an idea what it was. Another incident? I'm referring to this letter. Sir Belduke wrote a letter shortly before his death, yet all we have here are some blank sheets of parchment. Fascinating. Are you saying maybe a witch used some kind of ink removing magic on that letter, Mr. Wright? No. The spell used by the witch was, of course, Goldor. Let's go over the state of the crime scene one more time. As you know from Miss O'Malley's testimony, the letter was in a letterbox next to the victim's head. Oh yes, it's in the sketch as well. The letterbox is on the far side of the shelf. The point of note is the location of that letterbox. Unbelievable. As Inquisitor Burnham seems to have noticed, the letterbox is within reach of the small portal conjured by the witch behind the painting on the wall. Indeed it is. And as Sir Belduke's butler, you will have known exactly where he keeps his letters. Indeed, Master Belduke would always keep his letters in that letterbox before posting them. Imagine no such thing. Miss Greer, you created a portal with Golder, not with the intention of killing Sir Belduke. You were after this letter, weren't you? That's merely wild conjecture. I didn't even know about that letter at the time. You didn't? No, that's very strange. When Miss Miller came by that night, Sir Belduke was busy writing that letter. And that's when you entered, carrying a bottle of tomato juice. There's no way you wouldn't have known that your master was writing a letter to someone. And you could know even more than that. For instance, perhaps you knew what he was writing about. That's enough. I served Master Belduke as his butler, and I would have pried into his private affairs. Whatever it was he wrote about in his final letter to the storyteller is no concern of mine. Your Honor? Yes, defense? And like Miss Greer's last statement to be added to her testimony. Any objections, Inquisitor Burnham? No, my lord. Very well. Witness, include what you just told us in your testimony. As you wish, my lord. Had no reason to take his life nor steal his letter to the storyteller.
Hold it!
Let me get this straight. You didn't know anything about the victim's letter? That's right. I believe I have said as much already. Then how did you know? How do you know it was addressed to the storyteller? Indeed. Why don't you answer his question, witness? It's true this letter is addressed to the storyteller. But when did you find out about it? I've spoken about the murder with many people over the past 3 months.
Hang on!
Excuse me, Miss Miller? Thought I caught you off guard, but it's your screech that's caught me off guard. Is there perhaps anything you'd like to add to Miss Greer's testimony? No, not really. In that case, let me ask you a different question. Did you tell Miss Greer about Sir Belduke's letter? I don't know. Do not beat about the bush, witness. Answer the question. If I may briefly interrupt. I'm testifying right now. I am testifying right now. If you wish to question Miss Miller, please do so once you have finished interrogating me. She's not going to let me question Miller, from the looks of it. And if she is so keen to prevent her from answering, this might just be a critical point in the testimony. Got to find another way of fishing for that information. What is this way? Let's continue testifying.
Objection!
Wait a second, I didn't want to press it! It was misclick! Holy shit! I wanted to just check my details and... just wasted it, or nothing. Idiot. Let's see here. How the heck this happened? Actually, I see nothing here what I can present. Sudden wasting of hit points.
Hold it!
Can I print this one more time?
Hold it!
Goodness!
Everyone has been very kind to me. They have also told me all sorts of things. I must have heard about it from someone at some point. Well, that incident was certainly much talked about. Would you not agree, Defense? Does your testimony hold together? There's a contradiction. There's a huge contradiction in Miss Grey Owl's testimony. You're becoming very predictable, Cerebral Knight. And there is a contradiction. Hope you have the evidence to prove it. Again, I don't have it yet. Here's my chance. There's only one way to expose this contradiction. Not yet. The defense has no intention of presenting evidence. What? The proof that there's a contradiction cannot be found in the court record. What? What's the meaning of this, Mr. Wright? The professor pointed it out to me in the previous witch trial. In this court, an attorney's arsenal isn't limited to the court record. Each of the witnesses in this trial has given their own account of what occurred. Therefore, whenever one witness has testified, the other remaining witnesses have listened. Should one witness' testimony differ from another's testimony, then I suppose that in itself can also be considered a contradiction, can it not? Juxtaposing. What? Let's see. And how to pronounce juxtaposing? Means placing two things side by side to highlight their striking differences? So just diff. When you differ contradictory testimonies. Give it this word. I wonder if you ask how to pronounce whatever you need to pronounce. I mean, Juk, Stuk, Poch, Zinc? Which language is this? Juxtaposing? juxtaposing. I don't really like all this stuff. Like, they explain you how to pronounce words by using another word that you have no idea how to pronounce. Really. Gibberish. Because Russian actors are too valuable, you need to pay them a lot of salary. Miss Grey Arrow. Your testimony contradicts another one that we heard in this court today. Hold on. Which one? Had no reason to take his life nor steal his letter to the storyteller. Stuck me in, complete stranger, forever be in debt to him. Sir Beltigo was a wonderful man, he is the one who recommended this line of work to me. He's the one who told me about it, the confidentiality obligation. Wait a second, which one is a contradiction? Don't exist? Something was inside this letter that contradicts this.
Objection!
It was a single word that gave you away, Miss Grey Arrow. What do you mean by that? The name of the recipient. There were only a few people who knew the intended recipient of that letter. 4 people to be precise. Only 4 people. First was Sir Belduke, the author of the letter. There was Miss Miller, who delivered it. And of course, the storyteller, its recipient, as well as one more person. The one who stole the letter using a portal spell and swapped it with the blank sheets of parchment, the witch. So parchment was simply swapped. And we didn't think about it. Juxtaposed. Maybe I did, maybe I spilled the beans. About the letter, maybe I told the butler. You did what? Well, because you see, me and the butler are sort of friends. And it was about our dear Sir Belduke. I feel like I might have told you about it after all. See, if I did, that's how she knew. About the recipient, She's also witch.
Objection!
I understand that you are friends with Miss Grey Arrow and you want to help her out. But I've got a piece of advice, Miss Miller. You shouldn't lie, even for friends. Remember your testimony. You told us about the courier's duty to keep the details of letters confidential. And you have also testified. And you have never broken that obligation, remember?
Objection!
But, hold on just a minute. And the victim's butler, Jean Grey Arrow, might have had a chance to catch a glimpse of the envelope.
Objection!
No, she didn't. When Miss Miller came with the delivery, Sir Belduke was still writing that letter. In fact, he was in the middle of it. At that time, the letter had not been addressed yet. And the next morning, when the body was discovered, that letter was already in the letterbox. Keep in mind that Miss Grey Arrow would have had no opportunity to see it then, either. And that so? She went to report the crime without even setting foot in the study. And then Miss Miller appeared and retrieved the letter. Needless to say, Miss Grey Earl couldn't have learned of the letter's recipient afterwards. Or maybe you have a good explanation, Miss Grey Earl. I'd very much like to hear one. Can you please tell the court how you found out the recipient's name? Mr. Wright. She could simply say that Belduke actually told him. Oh, yeah. Yes. Do you remember what I said when I was called to the witness stand? Yes. At the heart of alchemy lies the pursuit of the rules and logic that govern nature. You have demonstrated the power of your own logic. Miss Grey Earl? Are you saying? Yes, I confess. The abhorrent witch who used the spell Godor to stop the contents of that letter, and who took the life of Master Belduke. It was none other than I. It's all already? What? The end? I was an only child, born to a poor family, being a witch since I was very little. When did I become aware of it? I don't remember. Although I was but a young child, I knew that being a witch was a crime. That's why I hid my witch's scepter. Couldn't use magic at all. Wait a second, how witch scepter appeared? I thought she bought it. Or crafted. My father worked as a bricklayer. He told every day that he could hardly make ends meet. One winter day, he couldn't afford to pay the rent. We were going to lose the house. My mother was in tears. My father was sitting with his head down, wordless.
I want money for Mummy and Daddy.
That day, suddenly I remembered about the witch's scepter that I had hidden. Small kid can hide their scepter. Juxtapoxed. Chupacabra. The Golden Spell. Thought I'd try it just once, casting the spell. But at the time I had no idea what an irreversible mistake that would be. Even though no one told me, I knew from the very beginning what magic I was able to use. What should I turn into gold? I'm thinking about it really hard. To draw that I was. Something that wouldn't stand out, that could be taken for a work of art. Then decided to choose a pretty leaf that had fallen into our garden. But it wasn't the right thing to do after all. I was terribly punished for using magic, even just the once. Punished? In what way were you punished? I placed the leaf down in the back garden and cast the spell, but then Margaret suddenly walked in front of me. Margaret? My closest childhood friend. Margaret, right before my eyes, she was turned into gold. Oh dear me. Screamed and cried, but I knew I couldn't ask anyone for help. If anyone had seen it, they would have known it was the work of magic, and I knew Margaret wasn't coming back. That's terrible. Then my mother and father's faces flashed before my eyes. We may have been very poor, but we were always happy together. So what was the point of this? Had I been captured as a witch, hurt my parents probably wouldn't be safe either. That thought tormented me more than anything, and so I made the decision. Decided to end my own life. The end. Our witches are not drawing. threw myself into the river near the town. It was winter and the water was as cold as ice. I couldn't even move. It was painful. My consciousness started drifting away. What happened to your parents? I don't quite understand. The next thing I knew, I was in Master Belduke's residence. He risked his own life jumping into the freezing river to save me. I burst into tears and told him everything. I didn't want to go back home. I would only end up causing my parents grief. Master Belduke listened to me without interrupting, and then he told me this.
You can stay here, but from now on, you must live as a boy.
Master Belduke met with my parents and explained everything to them. They were very sad, but they agreed it would be best if I didn't return home. From Miss Guerrero. It must have been so awful for her. Master bought the house for my parents, so they wouldn't have to worry about paying rent anymore. As for Margaret, turned into gold, he brought her to his residence. He knew that if anyone saw her, they would report an incident of witchcraft. And this Miss Margaret, is she still in that golden state? Yes, she is. That's strange. I've received no reports of anyone by that name having gone missing, but of course it's gold. Margaret is being kept in the basement of the master's study. The basement? Correct me if I'm wrong, but this Margaret, is she... Yes, my dear friend was a goat. That's been we're keeping at our house. Goat? Until then, Master Belduke had mainly been researching medicine, but since the incident with Margaret, he became known as an alchemist. So that's when he became an alchemist. I was wondering why the goat was the only thing that covered in dust. That's how I started a new life as Master Belduke's butler. So Belduke would sometimes work as a physician, curing the townspeople of their illnesses. As his assistant, you have also shown commitment to helping the townspeople through your work. Forgot about being a bitch and was able to live happily, at peace with everyone. Not that could stay like that forever. But those peaceful days came to an abrupt end. Tell us, what in the world would they cause? Even I'm not quite sure what led to this, however. It all started 3 months ago with that lightning strike. Master Belduke and I were on our way back home, carrying specimens for experiments. An old tower appeared in the flames. Everyone who saw it was stupefied. But the expression on Master Belduke's face was unlike anything I'd seen before. What do you mean? His face went pale and twisted in sheer terror. It was shaking violently. It wasn't just astonishment and an unusual phenomenon. He seemed as he was afraid of something more concrete. Perhaps Sir Belduke saw something that others couldn't? But he'll be in the tower where we'll be in the end solving these puzzles? Sure. Like in other Layton games. He cancelled his experiments for that night and began writing a letter to someone. A letter? Found out about it when I brought him his bottle of tomato juice. But it was the sleeping powder inside of it? If it was, it could not be. Don't quite understand what's going on. He was writing feverishly, as if he were possessed. I saw some things. Few words in that letter. Expose everything. cannot keep this secret any longer. The truth about the witch. And you killed him over this bullshit? Why not just ask him? Mr. Belduke was going to confess that I was a witch. Everything went black in front of my eyes. Burn the witch. I will never forget the feeling that overwhelmed me at that moment. Yeah. She had simply no empathy, like any witch here. And that's when you decide to commit the crime. What I did first was accidentally singe a part of the wall in my room. It was an excuse to repaint that section of the wall green. He also painted the wall behind that painting of Sir Belduke's study. And when that fateful night came, I used a syringe to inject soporific through the cork and into the bottle of tomato juice. So many thoughts were running through my head as I wished Master a good night. I opened the portal behind him. He was right there in front of me, asleep. I reached for the letter in the letterbox, taking care not to wake him. And then I happened to notice the name on the envelope. Storyteller. When I read that name, the world all around me turned black once more. It's impossible to avoid what is written by the storyteller. It seemed as if I could hear the doors to all escape routes, shut and closed. It was the sound of despair. I would like you to believe me. Still do not understand why she did it. That the thought of taking Master Belduke's life never once occurred to me. And I planned to steal that letter, then disappear. But as I looked up on Master, sleeping there in front of me, at that moment I felt an evil presence awaken within me. Why did he save my life? And why did he betray me? Why is betrayal I cannot see? Before I realized what I was doing, my hands were clutching his neck. He didn't move at all, so I kept on clenching his neck. And that's it. Then the truth about what happened 3 months ago. So, let's go and execute him. So what was inside the letter, There's just one thing I failed to understand. Yes, you said you wanted to run away once you had stolen the letter. Yet despite that, you continued to live in Sir Belduke's residence, and now here you stand. Why did you not run away? My life had been thrown into disarray due to the absurdity of magic. They already forgot that in this world, this town is the only thing that exists. There's no place to run away. I learned all about alchemy living at Master's residence. Alchemy is concerned with the logic that governs the world. I wanted to believe that there really was such a thing. So I stayed in that place, hoping to one day see the irrational nature of magic overcome by the power of reason. Magic being overcome by reason. That night, I stamped the letter with blank sheets of parchment and waited for the sun to rise. I resolved to wait for the day when my true identity could be exposed through reason and logic. Master's death remains a mystery for 3 months, and people started to lose interest. Idiotic alchemist apprentice? She didn't want to be an apprentice, as I can see. She was forced to. And then you appeared, Mr. Wright. On the day you visited their residence, I was listening to your conversation from the other room. And that time finally came for me. My heart was racing with anticipation. Then, a few minutes after everyone entered that room, a believable incident took place. That incident. A witch appeared in Master's study, and they still did not explain this white powder and how Miller took the letter without stepping on the powder. What the heck? What's going on? It was not explained. What? I wanted to get a look at the witch, so I created a portal in the wall behind the painting. Precisely at that moment, Golder. The witch used one of the very spells that I can use too. She had stones in here. Palm? Wait a second. She doesn't need any stones. When I heard those words, a single thought flashed through my mind. This was my chance to dispose of my witch's scepter. I knew at the time what kind of a witch the Inquisition would be looking for. A witch that can use Familia and Golden. It occurred to me that I only needed to change one of the magic gems. I previously found out that the Familia gem was purple. I realized that if I swapped the Goldor magic gem for my amethyst, I'd pin the blame for my crime on that other witch. So I changed one of the gems and threw the witch's scepter into that room. If that's correct? Exactly.
Objection!
Wait a minute, Jean Grey Earl. This statement of yours is highly problematic. How so, Inquisitor Burnham? Yes, you're right. Can someone explain to me what this is about? I'm a witch, indeed. A sinful creature that killed the person to whom she owed her life. However, regarding the gentleman standing next to you, Mr. Wright, he may have fallen victim to a witch, but that witch was not me. Wait, what? Order in the cards! Wait, what is the meaning of this? Jean Grey Earl admits killing Sir Belduke, but not turning Sir Layton to gold. That is the gist of it, Lord. But lying about it is meaningless. Lying? Just being a witch is a crime in itself. And the punishment for that crime is the same regardless of whether she took one person's life or two. That's why there's no point in lying about it. I'm sure that's what the judge is thinking. Carol is still claiming she never laid a finger on the professor. But if there's no point in lying, does that mean she must be telling us the truth? So in that case, who's responsible for what happened to the professor? If it wasn't her, then who was it? Mind if I say something? Take a hint, witness. Does it feel like this is the right moment for you to talk? Yeah, well, that's kinda why I was staying quiet until now. But I either say it now or never. Don't simply fall silent after saying that. It only makes it weigh on my mind more. Whatever did you want to say? Hello? Yes? I need to make sure about something. That's not what it used to be, you know? Yes. The alchemist butler, a lady butler, she slipped sleep medicine into his drink. That's correct. She laced his tomato juice with it. And then she strangled the alchemist afterwards. Yes, Sir Belduke was unconscious from the sleep medicine, so he didn't resist. And that explains why we found no signs of a struggle at the crime scene. Yeah, about that. I let sleep earlier about what I did at the crime scene, right? Told you that I had a few sips of that juice. And the sleep medicine mixed in made you sleep like a log. Yes, you remember. Yeah, well, here's the thing. This is just between us, okay? You see, when I appropriated that juice, the juice bottle was, well, still unopened. It was unopened. The throat was parched, and I wasn't thinking straight. That brand new bottle was just there, waiting for me, with a cork screw conveniently laid next to it. Couldn't just let that go to waste, except they pulled out the cork and got to drinking. What, he was killed before he was killed? What? So in case you don't get what I'm getting at, the alchemist didn't have a single drop of the juice with the sleep medicine. What? He actually committed suicide, and next was strangled. Choked. Well, you cannot be choked if you're dead already. Witness, you went to the trouble of opening bottle found at the crime scene just to drink in suspicious contents? That's what I've been telling you. I was dying of thirst. That doesn't justify what you've done.
Objection!
The Inquisition shall deal with this witness after the trial. You'll find out what it means to be dying of thirst in more literal meaning. However, let us not waste any more time with him now. The witch has confessed to her crimes. There's no need to investigate Sir Belduke's death any further. Indeed, you're right, Inquisitor. Her role in the Sir Layton incident is not entirely clear. But the person who kills her protector, to whom she owes her very life, can be nothing other than a witch. The court has sufficient grounds to sentence her as such. Belduke didn't drink the juice that night. And if that's true, there's one thing here. It doesn't add up. It's right. I have to say, there's something about this that bothering me. Someone else? Maybe the butler, Grey Earl. She's not a witch at all, and the creature that was turned into gold was turned into gold by someone else. She can't cast magic. I'm sure there's a contradiction lurking in that man's testimony. You think so, Luke? Can you really turn a blind eye to that? Investigate. Mister, you're saying you opened the tomato juice bottle, but that claim contradicts a second piece of evidence. What? Defense, like a word with you. Yes, Your Honor. At this point, the client's innocence has already been established. Therefore, whether there's a contradiction in that man's testimony or not should no longer be any of your concern. That may be so, Your Honor, but even though I'm here to defend the accused, the true duty of any attorney is to uncover the truth behind what happened. My job's not done until there are no more contradictions left. Very well. Should I even save him? Several nights, let us hear about this contradiction you have discovered. I don't know what is this contradiction. Was it opened or not? And look too. The bottle was first opened by that guy, meaning Belduke didn't drink any of it. That means there's one piece of evidence that should be very difficult to explain. I would like to hear about this contradiction, too. Fans shall present evidence. Where's the contradiction in this witness having been the one who opened the tomato juice bottle? Wait a second. If I failed, I will be found guilty too? Witness having been contradiction. What the heck is this white powder? Still don't quite understand. Let's show this one.
Take that!
The contradiction can be seen in one of the sketches of the crime scene. In one of the sketches? Please take a look at Sir Belduke's mouth. You can see a line of red liquid trickling down from his mouth. Yes, well, he already established that it was the tomato juice. Exactly, Honor. Sir Belduke didn't drink any of the tomato juice that night.
Objection!
Which means there's only one other possibility. That ruined Linus, as we thought first of all. What? Sir Belduke must have tried to fight back the assailant and beat his tongue in doing so.
Objection!
Unfortunately, that would only bring us back to the problem we encountered earlier. Earlier? If the victim had put up a fight, then there should have been traces of a struggle at the crime scene, and yet no such traces were found. That's what made you assume the witch must have used Formalia. Yes, that is so. As explained before, Master Belduke didn't struggle at all at the time, but when I think about it now, I might find the new information was very unnatural. The victim didn't drink the soporific, yet didn't struggle. But what does this mean? If it's not tomato juice, no blood brought about through a struggle with the murderer. And what else could it be? Since not tomato juice, you have to assume it's blood, after all. You're right. It's gonna be that. Have ruled out the possibility that the victim bit his tongue while struggling with the attacker. You know, and there's got to be a different reason for that blood being there. He must have suffered internal bleeding that was somehow connected to his death. But what could have caused it? I have no idea, I must say. Your Honor, if I may ask one question. A question? To whom? Just clarify this one suspicion. May be able to explain the blood shown in the sketch. That's why I need to question one person in particular. Emir? Mister, can I ask you something? Yeah? Don't give me that scary look, though. What would happen if I select Burnham? Nothing at all. I've got nothing to tell. Emir's as innocent as a little lamb, but in his confidence more than a sham? He'll be better off without that bird. You drank the tomato juice that was at the crime scene, right? You keep asking me about that over and over again, so what if I did? Then I have another question for you. Did anything else disappear from the crime scene that day? No, I didn't notice anything.
Objection!
Witness, just what have you done this time? You look like a dog caught making a mess on the carpet. Why are you looking at me like that? About anything going missing, I'm innocent, please believe me. Truth could drown in his swimming eyes. Some tell lies well, others cannot tell lies. Looks like my gut feeling was right. He took something from the crime scene. Something that could be directly connected to that red liquid around Belduke's mouth. What on earth did that man steal from the crime scene? So an item disappeared from the crime scene that day. And at this very moment, it's highly likely that item is right in front of our very eyes. What? It's here? This poison bottle? That's right, mister. But he's constantly drinking. Is it? I have no idea. Defender, I order you to show us what this item is. The item that this witness took from the crime scene.
Got it.
It's this bottle. The bottle? Miss Guerrero, I'd like you to clarify something for me. What would that be, Mr. Wright? Sir Belduke was working on creating certain medicines. He had various dangerous substances in his possession as well. How were they stored? Sir kept them in a locked medicine cabinet. The bottles were labeled so that it was clear that they were dangerous. They have all been confiscated. As for the labels, did they resemble the label on that guy's bottle? Mister, what are you doing with a product of Master's research? It's not what you think. I didn't have any evil intentions, so nothing. That bottle belonged to Master. It was used to store strong poison. Poison strong enough to kill. Poison? What? I wonder why she didn't read the letter. Maybe there was some explanation about this poison. The red liquid trickling down Sir Belduke's mouth was definitely blood. Now, as for what caused him to bleed like that from his mouth, it was the deadly poison from the bottle this guy stole from the crime scene. This is outrageous! What? How he is not dead? Order! Order! Why do you expect me to just keep quiet? It was a poison? Poison? Am I gonna die?
Objection!
Just wait and see. Time will tell. Yeah, I guess. But Wadley, I want to know why you have that bottle. Also witch, also girl. Well, that's remember how I told you I drank the alchemist tomato juice? And it's not something easy to forget, especially having heard it several times. Well, that was when I saw it on the floor. This bottle right here. It was totally empty. And I thought, you know, it's such a fancy looking bottle. And all. And a bit of a skull fancier. Having this air of danger about them, right? Gross. They certainly do. So, since it was there, and I was there too, I thought we were kinda meant for each other. I thought, this battle's so classy, I could die for it. Had any poison been left in the bottle, he would have died instantly, but if it was empty, it was probably harmless. Heard that? I'm gonna leave! Good thing I rinsed it well before use. But he stole it 3 months ago, isn't it? What if the victim was killed by poison? That raises a new question, of course. Who could have poisoned him? Considering all the evidence and the testimonies we heard today, the answer is so close I can taste it. I cannot taste it. I have no idea who. Sir Beltuk was poisoned by... himself? It was, of course, Sir Belduke himself. Sir Belduke himself? Sir Belduke took that poison of his own will. His death was suicide. Yet it doesn't explain how Miller was able to grab the letter if there was poison all over the floor. And as preposterous as suicide, inconceivable.
Objection!
Think about it, Inquisitor. That would explain the most unnatural aspect of his death. The most unnatural aspect? Miss Grey Arrow, when you were strangling Sir Belduke, he put up no fight whatsoever. That correct? Yes, it is. Another day I was convinced it was due to the sleep medicine. It wasn't, because he didn't take any. The truth is, when you gripped his throat, Sir Belduke was already dead, had poisoned himself. But would the poison have caused him to bleed from his mouth? I personally know of no poison that works instantly and causes such symptoms. You don't? Can't just tell them that happens on TV all the time. There's certain plants in this area that contain a highly poisonous substance. In the course of his research, Master Belduke found a way to extract that poison. But my heron, there really is such a dangerous plant in Labyrinthia? The poison is very bitter to taste, so it would be impossible to secretly slip it into someone's food or drink. And it would cause internal damage. There's a very powerful poison. Drinking it would induce a most painful death. And to think Sir Belduke could. But did Sir Belduke really choose such an agonizing death for himself? Doesn't seem like he suffered that much. I would like to know that too. Miss Grey Arrow? You mean to say Master killed himself after exposing me as a witch? I can't believe it. He just wouldn't commit suicide. In it, we cannot take such a theory at face value. Had he committed suicide, I dare say he would have left a suicide note. Can't say why Sir Belduke committed suicide, but I think there's a piece of evidence that can confirm his suicide was a possibility. There's a piece of evidence like that? The letter? You have such evidence. You ought to present it to the court immediately. Present the evidence indicating that Sir Belduke's death could have been suicide. Well, letter?
Take that!
That's Sir Belduke's letter? Let's see. It was addressed to the storyteller, wasn't it? This is the last letter written by Sir Belduke. Now, if his death was a suicide, then this letter may well be his suicide note.
Objection!
what we have here is nothing more than blank sheets of parchment. Whether or not there was a suicide note is something we can only speculate about. That's right. But there's one person who knows whether this letter was really a suicide note. You mean the person who swapped its contents? In other words, you, Jean Grey Arrow. It is. You stole Sir Belduke's letter on the night of the crime. Tell us, what was written on it? I don't know. What? You don't know? And it's still the letter, yes. But I don't know what its contents were. You mean you have not read it? I couldn't bring myself to read it. It seemed that if I did, everything that had happened since Master Belduke saved my life would be ruined in an instant. I've taken it out and held it in my hands many times, but no matter what, I just couldn't. Squirrel. Can you tell us where that letter is now? I have it here. You carrying it around with you? You were searched. You had been done for. That night, having killed Master Belduke, I decided to stay in his residence. I knew my identity would be revealed sooner or later, and I was ready for it. So until that time, I decided to always keep the letter with me. My lord. Yes, witness? If you don't mind, could you please read it aloud? Now that I'm here, in this place of judgment, I think I'm finally ready to hear what Master wrote.
Hold it! Miss Grey Arrow, I think you should be the one to read it.
Me?
Sir Belduke wrote this letter to the storyteller as he was preparing to die. I think it's only right his last words should be read by you.
Yes, you're right. I see. I understand. Please allow me to read the letter aloud. My dear friend, I hope you will be able to forgive me for leaving this world of my own will. I have finally made this decision, having seen that accursed bell tower
appear in the flames on that dreadful night. That lightning was a sign that we have angered the gods.
Who?
What I have done cannot be forgiven. I can never escape from it. For the past few days, I have been thinking that it might be best to simply expose everything. This town's secret, the truth about the witch. Of course, I understand that secrets need to be kept. However, I have grown very tired. I'm afraid I cannot keep the secret any longer. I have only two concerns. The first is my daughter. It pains me to be leaving her alone in this world, although she probably doesn't think of me as her father.
A daughter?
I was not aware that Sir Belduke had a daughter.
Mr. Belduke seemed to know a lot about this town. This town's secret, and the truth about the witch.
Truth about the witch? Somehow I don't think he was talking about Miss Grey Arrow.
The sounds of voice acting now.
The second matter, weighing heavily on my mind, is that Jean will be left on her own.
Seeing her growing up, so strong and righteous, in defiance of her fate, had given me hope.
Defiance. I think it was something different. Defiance. Right, need to remember this.
A short while ago, she brought me my usual, and what will be my last, drink.
No, talking about pronunciation of it.
so many things I wanted to tell her, but I could only manage a thank you. She is a very sharp child. Had I said any more, she would have caught on. You could call me a selfish man, but I didn't wish my last memory of her to be a sad one.
Master Belduke. If the fate handed to her by this town has made her life an ordeal until now, I hope from the bottom of my heart that a wonderful story awaits her next. I intend to leave my residence to her, and I would like you to look out for her.
Alas, it is time for me to put my pen down. My dear friend, what I truly wish to express to you is too complicated for words. I hope one day you will understand, but for now I bid you farewell. The time has come for me to go.
Why I don't care? Who will be his daughter? This Espella Cantabella? No idea.
This letter. It was
Still,
a denunciation of me being a witch.
she's still a witch who actually killed or tried to kill other person. And if he didn't commit suicide, he would be dead anyway, so burn her.
Master Belduke cared about you until the very end.
Yes, how could I have forgotten? I'm sure I knew it all along.
Yes, subtitles.
So why did I? How could I have done that to him?
Miss Greer. Lord, what is it, Inquisitor Burnham? I think it's about time for the guilty verdict. Guilty? The Inquisition withdraws the charges against Maya Fey and charges Jean Grey Earl with being a witch. All the evidence corroborates this accusation, and she even admits her guilt. Hence, the Inquisition asks that the witch be found guilty and punished immediately.
Objection!
They objected. Not so fast, Inquisitor Burnham. They want now, Sir Blue Knight. Admittedly, Miss Greer did attempt to strangle Sir Belduke, but he had consumed a deadly poison and was already dead at the time. Therefore, she is not guilty of murder. And one more thing. It also wasn't Miss Greer who turned Professor Layton into gold. There was another witch present at the crime scene. Defendant Maya saw her too. To put it simply, Miss Greer didn't kill anyone. How about Goat? She didn't kill anyone, and yet you still want to burn her? Well, they're all here to burn all the witches, no matter what they're doing. Maya, do you even know how it feels to be put in this cage? It's like everyone against you, and it's super frightening. I'm not a witch, but I've been thrown into this cage and almost sentenced for something I didn't do. And now you're about to do the same to another person? That's just not right. And that's all you have to say? The one who's in the wrong is not me, but you, Sir Blue Knight. Whether the witch committed a crime or not is completely irrelevant. This the witch's court. All witches must be punished by fire. But that's crazy! Why Burnham? Inquisitor Burnham is absolutely right. Don't worry, Burnham. I'm sure about this. Being a witch is a crime. You understand that, don't you, Miss Greer? Yes. Very well then. The court is ready to issue the final verdict. Maya Fey is found innocent, and in her place, Jean Grey Earl is found guilty of being a witch and shall be cast into the fire.
No! You can't!
Why not?
Hold it!
Oh, what's going on?
Please, hold the verdict!
Espella?
What is it now, Espella Cantabella?
Not burn me first and she'll stop being a witch.
There is nothing else we can do. This is the course of things, and you should know it well.
Indeed, all witches shall be cast into the flames.
That is the law of this town. A law that was written by your very own father. And furthermore, a law that has always been obeyed in the town of Labyrinthia.
A town like this should never exist in the first place.
What? Such insolence!
That's heresy! She's criticizing the storyteller's story! Even the storyteller's daughter has no right to criticize the story!
Trials in which innocent people are sentenced to death by fire. I shall make sure this is the last one.
I fail to see how she innocent.
What do you mean, Espella?
Since you're all so keen on the rules created by the storyteller, you should know exactly what I mean. The stipulation for ending the witch trials. Once the Great Witch Bezella is burned, the witch trials will end. At present, I am under suspicion. You know very well why that is, don't you?
You? But you don't mean that you're,
I am guilty. I am the Great Witch Bezella.
What?
Now, cast me into the flames and let Miss Grayle free. Miss Cantabella. This shall be the last of the witch trials. No one else need be burned hereafter.
Espella, just what are you saying? I can't let you do that.
Please, Mr. Wright, let me do as I wish. I'm sorry, but this is a problem concerning the people of Labyrinthia.
What, Witch Cat?
No! Please don't do it! There must be another way! You don't need to do this! It's all right, Luke, Maya, Mr. Wright, and Mr. Layton. I truly appreciate all you have done for me.
Then just 50% of the game, till never happen.
This can't be happening.
Miss Cantabella, your confession will have very serious, or rather, fatal consequences for you. May we assume that you fully understand those consequences and are willing to accept them?
I am Espella Cantabella, the storyteller's daughter. But I also have another name. I am the Great Witch Bezella. I have lived hidden in the dark pages of my father's story, deceiving all of you. Many lives have been sacrificed because of me. But that shall end today.
Court attendants, seize that woman! She is the Great Witch Bezella.
Espella.
Seeing she doing?
This just isn't right. Let's go. Nick, give me a hand.
How so?
Jump over there.
But
It's simply insane.
Maya! Help me, Nick! Estella! Quick, in here!
How do you find this? Oh, wonderful ending.
Stop! You've got to stop!
What the heck is this? And they cannot kill characters here. This means that all the witches before were also not killed? Wonderful. What time was it? Well, almost 3 hours. So Layton is no more, Maya is no more. Only Triton and Wright left. Just 2 characters. So next they will get rid of Triton? It looks like. Taste of despair. What do we do now? I mean, that's out of the cartoon, but everyone's in an uproar, so where do we go from here? I'm truly sorry. It's my fault that Maya... This all happened because of me. That's not true at all. It's not your fault, Espella. Isn't that right, Mr. Wright? Mr. Wright? Oh, look, did you say something? Yeah, that's right. Espella, it's not your fault. You shouldn't blame yourself. Mr. Wright, I just said that. Really? Mr. Wright. Well, anyway, at least we managed to save you, Espella. Yes, but because of that, now Maya... I believed in you. That's why she wanted to protect you. He's right. So we can't let ourselves get captured now. Look. That settles that then. Okay, let's get moving. We're about to get caught if we stick around here any longer. But where should we go? Everyone's looking fast now. Well, I was thinking maybe we could go to Buddy's shop, but the knights are certain to be waiting for us there. Oh yeah, that's true. Why? You suddenly managed to get yourselves into quite the predicament. That voice! Inquisitor Brenham! Just wait, Inquisitor Brenham. Arrest me, lock me up, I don't care! Not. These two have nothing to do with this. Take me, I'm the one you want. No ways, fella. None of us are at fault here. You're not the ones who did anything wrong. Look. You're accomplices to the Great Witch bestseller and have assisted in her escape. In a manner of speaking, you have been branded an enemy to all of Labyrinthia. There's no way you can hide. No sympathy here. I wonder if she will be in any next game. The 2 games left for Saturn that I didn't play. She might not be even here. Isn't she died there? What? But why? Spell is in the Great Witch. Why can't you understand that? Then I must ask you, why do you continue to deny the clear allegation that this girl is Bezella? That's easy, because we believe in her. I know back in the courtroom I said I didn't believe in Maya, but deep down I believed in her. We all did, and we all still do. Look, that's why I'm going to stand strong. I'm going to stick by Espela's side, no matter what. Is that so? By the way, Sir Blue Knight, the loss of my face, unfortunate. You have my deepest sympathies. Really? Your deepest sympathies? Well, such bedlam was indeed unexpected. Should have done something more to prevent it. Mr. Burnham, I proved Maya's innocence. I admit, indeed you did. And yet, last I saw she was being dropped into a pit of fire. Tell me, Inquisitor, does that seem like justice to you? All witches are to be cast into the flames. That's the law of the land around here, right? But I wasn't a witch. How do you explain that, Inquisitor Burnham? It was just an incident. It is truly regrettable. What occurs in the courtroom is my responsibility and mine alone. Responsibility? Fine. Then take some responsibility right now. Magic exists here, right? Well then, use some magic and bring Maya back. Cast whatever spell you need to cast and bring you back. There exists no such magic. I cannot undo her death. This is my blame to bear. If it would bring you solace, then take this sword and strike me. Just stop it. You knights are always ready to get rid of those different from yourselves. Just get out of my sight. I said go! And he just left. What was that? I think I heard something coming from the main gate. Yards, come and take a look at this. That's right. Those voices are getting closer. At this rate, we are exited through the main gate and head east through the forest. Should be able to escape along the small path there. How about the puzzles that I left behind? On the outskirts of the city, you'll find Rock's Tavern. Should be safe here, there. Why are you helping? Go, no! You'll be caught if you stay here, and this will be all my not. All for not. My fault. That's right, let's go! Yeah, right. That's right. Are you coming? Okay, let's go. Just standing here? Wait a second, can I return back and solve the puzzles? We can't return to the town for now, but head for the marketplace on the other side of the forest. There was one hidden puzzle. There was another hidden puzzle that I was not able to find myself. It looks like we made it through the forest. Can't see those knights anywhere. I think we'll be safe here for a little while. I'm sorry for all of this, Espela. If you'll just headed for safety right away, I wouldn't be in this situation. That's right. I need to apologize to you too, Luke. What? You've been trying your best this whole time, just to get Espela out of here safely. It's my fault those knights are on our tail, probably going to find us. But I wouldn't say all's lost just yet. I mean, there's got to be a way to bring Maya back. I'm sure we can find a way. Come, Phoenix. You have to keep it together here. These two need you. Now more than ever. Lukasevich and a robot at the same time. 2 and 1. Well then, how about we make our way to that tower Inquisitor Burnham mentioned? Yes, it will be a Rock's Tower. Show you the way. Spiller, you know that place? Oh yes, it looks a little bit scary, so never been inside before though. But I come to this side of town often to do my shopping, so I've passed it a few times. I think Miss Mary's goat farm is around here as well. Is that right? Okay, just this way, let's go. Right then, let's get going, Mr. Wright. Yeah, hey look. Yes, what is it? I just wanted to thank you for earlier. You really helped me out. What do you mean? Say, I get it now, I'm not the only one who just lost someone important to them. I believe in the professor. He would never be beaten by something like magic. That witch just cast a spell on him. That is all. T-800 was burned like a witch, by the way, if you think about it. So, all we have to do is find a way to undo that spell, right? Let me see. You know, you're right, look. The professor will come back, I'm sure of it. That's why all I can do for now is keep moving forward. It's what any true gentleman, Strain, would do. Actually, I was thinking about this as well when I saw how they burn the witches. You don't see how they're actually dying underground somewhere in the basement, whatever it is. So, she's still alive. Yeah, get it. Get it, let's go. Right. What's wrong with her? It's all this way, hurry up! Sorry about that, we're coming. Where this hidden puzzle? Oh, it's hidden that I need to click on it, like this. Here it is. Look, check this out, it looks like there's a puzzle hidden here. After the 3, so for you, Terminator 3 is actually canon? For me it's not. Second was the last one. Oh, that Mr. Wright. Make way for the Ace Apprentice. Oh look, I think I'd like to try this one. Really, Mr. Wright? Okay, good luck. I'll be here if you need me. So it's actually just Ace Attorney game. Layton is like no more. This shit. Can I move it? Oh, I can move it. Just didn't read it. Wait a second, how the... Oh, I see now. Holy shit. I have no patience for this. Terminator games had no lava? What? Or what they had? Didn't have this?
Your Honor, there is a clear
A
contradiction in
liquid
this puzzle.
metal stuff
Just thinking outside the box.
at the end of LJN game. Molten metal, yes. Need to play actually. It was one of the games that I was able to finish it after I played it like 50 times. I wonder how I would play it now. Because people were saying it's kinda hard. The only hardest part was the last one. The last level. Alright, that's it for the day, I believe. But in this case I need to play Famicom games. I played so far only one single game, right? Sweet Home. Or maybe one more. Listen, somebody requested another Famicom game, but I don't remember. Was it River City something? Neketsu? Kunio-kun? Don't remember the name. And was it Famicom or not? Had lava and bats? What? Bats? What about bats? The way in Terminator games? Flying Hero. Don't want to play Famicom at all, I would say. But maybe in the future. But first of all, I must finish Ace Attorney and Layton games. Next, I have a list of consoles to play starting from second generation, like Atari 2600, till I get to 8-bit. Well, if I start playing Famicom games, I'll be playing Famicom games till I finish like 50 of them. They're all short mostly. If I still have the skill to play them all. As I believe I'm not. Wait a second, I do have the list of the games that I played. Let me just check. Nice Famicom here. Wait a second, where was Famicom? Oh, River City Ransom I played on Famicom. So far I played 2 Famicom games. Out of how many? 1,000? And 300 and something? 76 maybe? I don't know. Alright, time to rate somebody. And this somebody will be who? And Uniketsu Koha? Hold it? You have the name to rate? That you can give me, Orange Cat? Tell me. Oh. Dimension Dude? I rated him twice, by the way. You want the third time? I can. Strange that puzzles here in this game are super easy. Except the mice. Why start here? It's on the right. There's another hidden puzzle here. Oh, let's read this text. Look, what's wrong? Sorry about that spell, I just chipped a little, that's all. It is potato? Let's see if we can put this back into the basket. We don't want anyone else to trip over it. Okay, this place really looks like it's seen better days. You have a question? What is this? What needs all this rocket? Oh, it's a good one. Someone's coming. This unknown place for kids. Why don't you Tukes? What the heck is this? Run off and find somewhere else to play, huh? Oh, it's you! Hmm? You're that lad from yesterday, aren't you? Is he an acquaintance of yours, Snook? Oh, why I'm streaming it in 2K? Because it's possible to stream it in 2K. It's a new standard for Twitch and YouTube. On YouTube, for example, all videos in Full HD in 1080p, they look like bullshit no matter what. If you wanted them to use better encoder, you must stream it in 2K on Twitch and export it to YouTube. Well, that's why at the first. Second, when you stream it in 2K, it's completely automatically processed on your side, not on Twitch side. So there will always be different quality, like Full HD, HD, 480p and 360. Because it's done on my PC. So overall quality will always be better. The only benefits here, no downgrades. Except it's actually encoded on your PC. And that's a plus, I would say. So, is he an acquaintance of yours, Luke? Not just an acquaintance. This lot and the block in the Dark Heart, it's not available for you, but there are other resolutions not available. And which browser are you using? I remember that there's an add-on that you can install into browser, so you'll be able to see it in 2K. Anyway, there are other resolutions, so you're not blocked. Not native resolutions. Can you explain a little bit more how actually... You mean not native add-ons? Wait a second, what was this? How about Re-Yohoho add-on? My servers. Them two really saved my height yesterday. These two pulled my fat out of their fryer right when I needed it most. Wait a second, you cannot see streams completely? Or you cannot see video on demands? I still fail to understand, Rich Cats. I need better explanation. What is the problem? Well, yeah, 2K is not available. I see keep notification. And for me, it was also not available in Firefox when I was using it. But nowadays, let me check actually. Can I see 2K on my own stream? Is that even possible? Video on demands are available in 2K for actually 7 days, 1 week, and after this they converted into Full HD. Well, in Firefox I can see it in 2K. Now it's working. Let me check video on demands. For example, this one. It's still possible to select the quality. So, you want me to return back to Full HD? Well, what I saw on YouTube, what will happen to all my previous videos, it's horrible. You probably can't say anything, there's so many artifacts. There's still artifacts for 2K, but much less. Yeah, let me finish reading this. Because I cannot save. Yes, that's one way of putting it. It's alright, Espella. This man is really a good person. That's right, Lars. Old Cutter has a face you can trust, so he is a criminal or he is not. Still do not understand. Hold on, where's the block with the Dark Hat anyway? Well, you see the professor here? Something mighty and pleasant must happen from the looks of it. How about we take the conversation inside? Discord? Alright. When you say inside, that wouldn't happen to be Rock's tavern, would it? Hey now, didn't think you know about a place like that, but it must be quite the heartbreaker if they're losses. That's not it at all. Just have a bit of businesses to take care of there, that's all. Alright, just pull your leg flat. Well, if you're looking for Rock's Tavern, you're standing right in front of it. It's the brightest house on this road. Can't miss it. No worries though. I'll head there with you guys. Thank you very much. There's supposed to be a secret puzzle, but I'll better save here. It's almost 11. Still need to work at least 1 hour before going to sleep. That's kinda it. Alright. Anyway, there's always video on demand on YouTube that you can watch. Still, I believe. Let's read. That's it. Thank you for stopping by, and see you tomorrow. What is tomorrow, Wednesday? Yeah, I will be available online. I'm sure about this. Bye, good night.